Hi, look at me trying a new thing. So this is the first time I have done a live stream with StreamYard. So I'm excited. To see how it works. I'd love to hear from you if you're watching. Come and say hello. It won't tell me who you are unless you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give it permission to see your details if you're on Facebook. It won't tell me who's talking to me, so that would be helpful. Or else you can put your name at the end of the comment and then I'll know who it is. So, hello. What I wanted to share with you today is the exciting new offer that's available with Green Tutors. So if you don't know who we are, Green Tutors provides GCSE and A-level support to students covering STEM subjects, and all of the tutor team are STEM professionals who are working and or studying in STEM fields. And share their expertise and make the lessons a bit more engaging. Alongside that, we offer study support, so teaching students the independent skills that will help them to succeed. And I've been doing that myself for the past decade. So I've turned all of that into a group program this year because I wanted to be able to offer it to even more students, having seen the increased demand following lockdowns and school closures. I've had a lot more requests for tuition, and especially sciences over the last year or so from students who are feeling even more pressure for their exams. So I put everything that comes with tuition, all of the things that encourage that independent learning, building confidence, anxiety management, wellbeing support, all of that's being built into a group program. If you were with us at the summit on Friday, you would have heard all about that. And you would have also got a load of advice from the speakers around various things to prepare for GCSEs. So if you weren't at the summit, I definitely recommend that you join the Facebook group and go and have a look at that. Facebook group is Turns Stress to Success. Let's put that on the screen for you. Well, in total, it's Turn GCSE Stress to Exam Success, but I have abbreviated the link because it's much easier. So I recommend you go and have a look at that if you haven't already, and you can hear what all of the speakers had to share. If you're interested in joining the program, here's the link to sign up. So it's on the Green Tutors website, and then just go to GCSE Success Programme. You'll also see it in the banner. So if you're on the homepage, greentutors.co.uk, there's a link straight from there. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about what that involves. Let's have a look, shall we? Hopefully there you can see what's on my screen, plus a little cookie consent pop up. Marvellous. And I'm also going to get rid of... No, never mind, I won't. We can't get rid of StreamYard because it's over the corner. Excuse me. So the GCSE Success Programme is all about what it says here, leaving your child confident, in control and ready for their exams. I don't want anybody to be feeling overwhelmed, under pressure, anxious, making themselves unwell in preparing for the exams. I want everybody to see what they are capable of and achieve their best results this year. No sitting feeling overwhelmed, anxious, pressured, like you can't do it, sticking your head in the sand. All of this is designed to tackle those feelings and those overwhelming emotions and help to make it manageable by turning it into a step-by-step process with templates, with guides and with hand-holding throughout until they develop their independent study skills. So what's included in here? It's open till the end of this week, and it includes separate accommodations for parents, because I know from experience that parents get just as anxious, if not more anxious, as exams approach compared to students. So I don't want to leave them out of the process, but I also didn't want to give them a bunch of work to do. So I built a platform separately for the parents where it explains to them what the process will be for their child, how they can best support them through that, and how they can support their own well-being through that time. But essentially it gives them a channel to communicate with, so they can contact other parents in the same position, as well as asking questions from me as we go through the programme, just to save them time and anxiety. Just having someone that you can check in with is very helpful with situations like that. The programme includes all of these over the course of 8 weeks. So these are the steps that we'll go through. It starts by explaining to students how to actually get set up for success in the first place. So making sure that you have everything physically available that you will need through the process, and that you have a comfortable and suitable place to do all of the work that's required. It's a very important first step, and one that people quite often overlook, and they end up attending lessons or doing the revision sat hanging off the bed with the headphones in, Netflix in the background, all of these things that just become second nature, and you don't realise how much impact it might be having on your focus in your studies. So we'll go through that and make sure that they're set up comfortably for their studies. And if this is a conversation that you have been having with your child unsuccessfully, I'm sure we can turn that around, as we have done previously. We can get them set up with a proper study space in no time. We'll also go through how they actually get motivated. That's fairly early on, because it's fairly important. If they're not particularly motivated to study, it's not because they're obstinate, it's because it's overwhelming for them, and because they don't necessarily know what the first step is, or why it's worth their while to put that work in. So we'll go through getting them motivated, working out why it's important to them personally, and how exactly they can keep that motivation going for the rest of the year. That then powers them through the rest of the programme. We go through building a schedule for them so that they can take control of their time and feel like they do actually have time to do everything that they need to do, and it's not so overwhelming. So that makes a massive difference to them feeling under control of the situation that they're facing, rather than overwhelmed. We go through how to actually revise in this great revision strategy that I've put together with all of the things that worked in my previous lesson. So it's a strategy that I've kind of designed myself and given it this lovely acronym so that we can design great revision, make sure that everything that they're doing in those revision sessions is really effective and efficient, so that they can spend as little time as possible, basically. Don't have to sit there for hours and hours trying to achieve the same thing, when actually it can be done in 30 minutes. We have some implementation time so that the program itself doesn't become overwhelming. So at this point, they would have learned a fair amount of specific things that they can be doing with their time to make their revision really effective, and to boost their confidence ahead of exams. So we like to give them a little bit of time in the middle so that they can implement those things and get comfortable with them, because it takes some time to make it really work for you. There's always some tweaking that's involved. So we've set in some implementation time in the middle there, but that doesn't mean that there's no support for them in that week. There's still a coaching session where we answer any questions and make suggestions on things that they could be doing to make it easier for them, help them work through any problems, and just generally support them through the process. We move on to well-being, because having gone through that part for a month, they might still be feeling some anxiety. They've basically got far enough through the planning process to realise just how much work there is to do. And at that point, they might be putting too much pressure on themselves, or feeling like running away. So we go through how to manage their well-being and the little things that they could be doing every day and every week to look after their own health and their mental health, and make it a more manageable and sustainable momentum. We go through some good habits in general that they should be doing, ways to stop little tasks from becoming massive tasks. So what could they be doing step by step each day and each week to improve their general health, and to make the work perhaps not snowball into something unmanageable. And then finally, we go through the process of actually preparing for the exam. So when they're in their study leave, when May comes around, what can they be doing to make sure they're actually ready to walk into that exam hall? They know what to expect, and they don't then get the exam anxiety that freezes them up and prevents them from giving their very best performance. Altogether, I feel like that is a massive, massive lift for students who are preparing for their GCSEs. But alongside that, we've included a couple of things that I found personally to be very useful for GCSE students. So access to the Complete Maths Classroom, which is a wonderful entire curriculum resource that guides students towards independent learning by including diagnostic resources to work out the level that they're at and the next step that they should take in their maths journey, it's fantastic. So I would recommend that to every student who's undertaking GCSE maths or any maths assessments this year. But it will be included in the programme, so you'll be able to access that completely free. And alongside that, you'll get a CGP book bundle, because they're my absolute favourite revision resources, and I've got tons of them. I've got a full bookshelf of CGP revision resources here. So I'll be sending a bundle for your particular subject and curriculum to everybody that does sign up for the programme. So if you were to buy all of that individually, it would cost over £1,000. But I want it to be something that's accessible to everybody. I want everybody who's preparing for GCSEs to be able to join this programme, so that everybody has a chance of delivering their own potential and doing so without making themselves unwell. So it's actually available for £150, and that content is available to you forever. So once you've signed up, you can keep it and you can use it for all of your children as they go through their GCSEs. Which I have been told many times is an insane price. But I'm sticking with it because, like I said, I want everybody to be able to access this. Who am I? You may not have seen me before. So my name's Georgina Green, and I'll be running the programme. So I'll be hosting all of the Q&A sessions, and all of the content is prepared by me. Green Tutors is my tuition company. You can probably see us up in the corner there, the little owl logo. The company has been providing tuition support since 2012, at which point I was also a scientist working in a pharmaceutical company and had worked in various scientific roles and had a real passion for STEM. So I was also volunteering with STEM Learning to deliver workshops in local schools and careers events. So I really wanted to be able to encourage more students to get into their STEM careers. That I've got a massive joy out of learning more about how the world works and the way things interact with each other. And I know that when you have to sit an exam in those subjects, it can kill the joy a little bit. Takes the fun out of it. I've also, over the last year or so, been working with Qualified Tutor as a science specialist and delivering sessions with them, and initially studied forensic science. So any student who's interested in taking forensic science degrees, I'm very happy to have a chat about that. One of my favourite subjects. So there'll be a fair amount of STEM influence across the programme, but it is useful for every GCSE student, whatever their interests are after their exams. From previous parents, there's some lovely feedback been shared here over how working with Green Tutors and with myself has supported their child through their GCSEs, and particularly around building their confidence and reducing their anxiety, and perhaps on quite a few occasions convincing them that they should take their STEM studies a little further than they had intended, and that they're capable of much more than they thought they were. Always happy to hear those comments from students, past parents. There's some frequently asked questions answered down here. So if you do have a tutor, fantastic, but that doesn't prevent you from signing up to the programme, because this isn't covering the academic content that you might work on with your tutor. It's the stuff that supplements that. And actually the students who develop these independent learning skills tend to do much better with their tutors anyway. So I'd certainly recommend it for you. The programme is targeting students, but it does include a parent module, because, like I said, parents equally get very anxious about the exams that their child will be sitting, but have even less control over the situation. So it can be very unpleasant for the parents as well. So we've included support for parents in there. The time that it takes to complete the course, so it runs over 8 weeks, and there's 1 hour of live Q&A scheduled per week, and there's also interactive content for you to go through in your own time every week. Excuse me. You go through it at your own pace, so you don't have to complete the weekly content within that week. You'll be able to ask questions for a bit longer after the course finishes, and you don't have to worry if you can't make the live sessions, because everything gets recorded and shared. But if you were to do it week by week, it would be a couple of hours of work each week. The idea is that it would save you time, because you would be revising in the most efficient way. So the live sessions have been scheduled for these dates and times. The first one is on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. and all of the rest are on a Friday at 6 p.m. around my tuition schedule. If you can't make those live sessions, that's absolutely fine. All of the content in there gets recorded and shared, but it's encouraged that you do come along and ask your questions. Very often people don't think of the questions that they want to ask until they come to the live session and we have a conversation. So I would recommend joining them. If you can't, you can still join because you'll still get all of the content sent to you. And especially for the parents, there's a group WhatsApp, so you can ask any questions as you would like to, and you don't get left out. So I am very excited to be able to share all of that with you. If you'd like to join us, do come along and sign up down here. It's only running until 9 p.m. on Sunday, and I don't think that you want to be signing up at 9 p.m. on Sunday. So do make sure that you go there and make sure that your name is on the list. I have left it open until Sunday. If we do get lots of sign-ups, I might have to close it a little earlier because I don't want the group sessions to be too full. So if you think that's something that would be valuable for your child, I would recommend signing up sooner rather than later. If you have any questions about that, do ask. If you think it would be helpful for somebody that you know, do share it with them. I'm very excited to be able to offer this for the very first time for students in 2023. I'm looking forward to seeing the difference that it makes on results day. August is going to be exciting. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and I'll speak to you again soon.